Hello. First, let me tell you a joke. Two men are sitting in a toilet in two separate cabins. One is terribly constipated, so he's making sounds of struggle. After a moment of silence, the other guy can hear the plop. So he says, "Congratulations, sir." And the constipated guy, "No, you shouldn't. It's my mobile." Well, the moral of the story is quite simple. It's good to know the exact nature of the business. In this episode, we'll try to answer the question why modern democracy is just being killed in the name of democracy. As one of the proofs on it, we can use Molly Ball's article published in Time magazine, "The Secret History of the Shadow Campaign That Saved the 2020 Election." Molly Ball, who is known also as Nancy Pelosi's biographer, tells the story of dark and dirty plot organized by the left-wing activists, Black Lives Matter, trade unions including US most important federation, AFL-CIO, and titans of business, with the leading role of big tech corporations. It was a huge, well-planned operation based on big funds. Only Facebook owner's wife spent $300 million to support electoral administration of the Democratic candidate. Their lawyers pressed on postal voting in selected 37 states as they believed being most likely to be victorious for Joe Biden. It started from the private dinner in Facebook owner Mark Zuckerberg's house, who invited 9 leaders from the most influential citizen and human rights organizations in the United States. The internet action was coordinated by CEO of the Leaders Conference, Vanita Gupta. She put pressure on internet platforms to set up a censorship from Donald Trump internet accounts. First they blocked them and then started to remove. The best example is weird and controversial decision of Twitter boss Ned Segal, who decided to ban Donald Trump for life on his platform. The general reason was allegation of further instigation for violence and public disorder against Donald Trump, accused by the Democratic Party for storming the Capitol. Vanita Gupta was awarded for her efforts. Today, she is the Vice of General Attorney in Joe Biden's administration. In case of Donald Trump victory, the plotters plan to organize at least 400 manifestations and street riots, introduced to the public opinion as spontaneous reaction of the American society defending American values and democracy. In fact, they just planned anti-Trump street revolution. There's no coincidence that the mainstream media announced Joe Biden's victory days before official results from the polls and electoral voting. Big tech is strictly connected with left-wing ideologies, using them for their particular interests and supporting them financially. They promote political correctness in overdose, leading to so-called cancel culture. It means that everybody who doesn't follow the dominating ideology may face serious consequences. Let's have a look at the example. Sarah Christiansen lived in Austin and was the owner of well-prospering small business. Over a year ago, she put as a repost on Instagram a photo of a woman presenting herself in bikini when she was looking for a new job. Christiansen cut down reposted photos so that the face of the woman was invisible in the picture. She embraced it with the comment that bikini photo looks highly unprofessional in terms of looking for a new job. Almost immediately, a woman who introduced herself in bikini accused Christensen and her business for objectification, for whatever that means. In consequence, Sarah Christensen became an object of hatred and was excluded from Instagram. She was even receiving threats of being killed on her private email. Her bank accounts were hacked by some cyber thieves, and finally her business was completely ruined. Her life turned into hell. There are many examples of cancel culture having devastating impact on American people's lives. According to the latest public research, 59% of the Americans are concerned and even intimidated to share their real views in public. That leads to growing hypocrisy and double standards in social life. It's a really small distance from cancel culture and censorship to re-education camps and revolutionary tribunals. But let's go back to the election. Let's remember that all totalitarian systems were always based on propaganda. Hitler's minister of Nazi propaganda, Joseph Goebbels, said that lie repeated many times becomes truth. Hundreds of fake news spread across internet during the last American election put many people in doubt, and many started to believe that Donald Trump is a real threat to democracy. In fact, left-wing ideology spread its wings over the American society. Useful idiots, known as celebrities, were continuously attacking Donald Trump and his administration in the name of defending democracy. Big tech platforms were bombing their users with false and unproven information. That means they disinformed and deliberately confused people. Why they feared Donald Trump so much? Why they desperately wanted Democratic candidate to win the election? Well, the reason is Donald Trump was leading America back to capitalism and free competition. He understood that overgrown corporations will kill free competition and millions of entrepreneurs' people's efforts will be wasted. He also understood that globalization is working in American disadvantage by helping China to grow in a formidable pace. He also realized how big danger is being represented by neo-communism propagated by many of American media and internet platforms. He pointed that they may destroy democracy in the name of democracy. The commies replaced Marxist idea of the war of classes with the conflict of races and conflict of genders. This process started in USA in late 1960s and was accelerated in the 1980s with a lot of financial support from Soviet Union. The communists believed that the best way to make America weak is to take over its elite. If you look what happens to many conservative university teachers and scientists who do not follow neo-Marxist ideology, you will quickly realize that they have just reached their target. Donald Trump wanted to reverse this process. That way he was dangerous to the system. They had to get rid of him, and so they did. The consequences of what happened in the US have immense impact in the future. Every conservative candidate will be an easy target for the leftists. They will press false charges under false allegations such as racism, populism, nationalism, and even Nazism. This already happens in many European countries. Recently, Swedish neo-commies suggested that there should be no more of the White Sea because its name sounds very racist. So it should be no more of the White House as well on the same basis. Well, if clever people will do nothing to stop this madness, we will see the history to be repeated like in the 1930s. When good people do nothing, the evil always gets stronger. First things first is to bring freedom of speech back to internet by building independent platforms of information. The truth and common sense must be defended immediately. If not, the future will belong not to human beings, but to some kind of earning, spending money machines based on human organs, without personality, nationality and identity, maybe even without names. Future totalitarianism may be even more brutal than that Nazism and first stage of communism because of the technologies the Nazis and the communists could only dream about. If you want to think about your kids' future, you just can't reverse your eyes from what's really happening. This is not only about the last election. This is first of all about our Western civilization and its future. Thank you for watching.